Hello students, welcome back. We are studying the chapter number 11 from Geography, Tropical and Subtropical Regions. In this chapter, in the previous two sessions, we have studied about the tropical region from Amazon Basin. We have studied in detail about the Amazon River, its origin, its mouth, its flow, and then we have studied about the people, societies, and the lifestyle and the vegetation in Amazon Basin. So, in this chapter, in this session, we are going to study about the another river basin that is located in our country, that is the Ganga Brahmaputra basin, as one of the basins from the tropical regions. So let's begin with the Ganga Brahmaputra basin. The Ganga Brahmaputra basin is one of the largest river basins in the world that lies in the subtropical zone from the equator 10-degree north to the 30-degree north. In this latitudinal area, Ganga Brahmaputra basin lies. Okay, and that lie in the south of Himalayas, at the bottom of the Himalaya. South side, it means in the side of our country. The Ganga Brahmaputra basin includes the plains of Ganga and the Brahmaputra rivers. Okay, why this basin is known as the Ganga Brahmaputra basin? Because the two basins are merged in this basin, from the basin of Ganga as well as the Brahmaputra rivers. The foothills of Himalayas and Sundarban Delta. These are the main area that lie under Ganga Brahmaputra river basin. They are spread over Tibet, China, Bhutan, India, and Bangladesh. Okay, it means Ganga and Brahmaputra basin. It is spread over the countries. Which countries are that? Tibet, China, Bhutan, India, and Bangladesh. In India, it extends over the states of Delhi, Uttar Pradesh, Uttarakhand, Bihar, Jharkhand, West Bengal, Assam, Meghalaya, Nagaland, Sikkim, and Arunachal Pradesh. So these states of India, okay, the area of these states that is under the Ganga Brahmaputra river basin. The plains are one of the most fertile plains in the world. Okay, the Ganga Brahmaputra basin is the one of the most fertile plains. Okay, so the agricultural yield in this area is found more because of the soil deposition by these two major rivers, Ganga and Brahmaputra. The soil is very fertile here, and therefore this is one of the most fertile plains in the world. They are formed by the things carried with the tributaries as well as the Ganga and Brahmaputra river that is deposited in this river basin area. So therefore this area is fertile because the soil available is here, that is the alluvial soil. One can find several depositional features such as floodplains, meanders, oxbow lakes, etc. Okay, so here the pictures I am displaying you, that floodplains, meanders, oxbow lakes. Okay, these are the depositional features that are found in these areas. Here in this map you can see the area that is blue colored area, that is the basin of Ganga river. Okay, Ganga river basin, and the tributaries are shown here. And here the red color area that is shown here, that is the Brahmaputra basin. Okay, so combiningly the basins of both the two rivers, okay, that is known as the Ganga Brahmaputra river basin. Okay, so river Ganga originates from the Gangotri glacier. is formed when two head streams, the Bhagirathi and Alaknanda, meet at Devprayag. Okay, so here the river Ganga, it originates, it starts from Gangotri glacier. Okay, so glaciers, okay, in the areas where the water is formed, in the water is found in the form of ice. Okay, and because of melting of this water, the water get flows, and the two main streams are created from the Gangotri, that is Bhagirathi and Alaknanda. These two streams, they meet at the place Devprayag. Okay, and from there the real flowing of Ganga river is found in our country. So the Ganga enters plains at Haridwar, and from there it flows eastward. Okay, so Ganga river that enters at Haridwar, and it turns towards the east. Okay, it means you can see here, see, the Ganga, it is originated, and it is first, it is flowing towards the south direction, but from the Haridwar it get turns towards the eastern states here. Okay, and finally it meets with the Bay of Bengal. The Ganga enters the plains at Haridwar, and from there it flows eastwards. Numerous tributaries such as Son, Gandak, Gomti, Yamuna, Ghagra, Chambal, Kosi, these etc. are etc. join the river as it flows through the plains. Okay, so these are the tributaries of river Ganga. Okay, the major tributaries, the major rivers are mentioned here in our book. See, Son, Gandak, Gomti, Yamuna, Ghagra, Chambal and Kosi. These are the tributaries of Ganga river. Okay, then the next river in this basin, that is the Brahmaputra river. The Brahmaputra river originates from the Chamoying Dung glacier near Manasarovar in Tibet. Okay, so why the name is like this? It is in the Tibetan language. What is that? Okay, Chamoying Dung. So that is the name of a glacier from where the Brahmaputra river originates, and where it is, that is in Tibet near to Mansarovar. And here this Brahmaputra river is known as Sangpo. It enters India through Arunachal Pradesh and flows through Assam and enters into the Bangladesh. See here, I am showing you the map. So here is the Brahmaputra river, and that enters in India, that is it is in Tibet. Look at the map, students. Here I am showing you the Brahmaputra river and how this river is flowing from Tibet towards India. In the Indian territories, first it enters in Arunachal Pradesh. Okay, and after entering into the Arunachal Pradesh, that river flows towards Assam, and after Assam it goes into Bangladesh, and from Bangladesh it merges with the Bay of Bengal. Okay, so this Brahmaputra river has also numerous tributaries such as Manas, Tista, Lohit, Subansiri, Dhanisiri. Okay, so these are the tributaries of Brahmaputra river. And list the Brahmaputra river once again. See here, tributaries of Brahmaputra river. Okay, Manas, Tista, Lohit, Subansiri and Dhansiri. So these are the tributaries that meet with the Brahmaputra river, and that join the river throughout its course. Okay, up to the end, up to the last, these rivers are joined with the Brahmaputra river. Before flowing into the Bay of Bengal in Bangladesh, the Brahmaputra meets the Ganga to form the Sundarban Delta, the largest and the most fertile delta in the world. Okay, so here you can see in the map I will tell you with the help of this map. Look at this here. See students, so the Ganga river is flowing from this here and eastward it came, and from here the Brahmaputra river came, and here the two rivers, okay, that are combined here, okay, before meeting to Bay of Bengal. It is near, it is in Bangladesh, okay, and it forms the delta. Okay, that delta is most fertile, okay, and most largest of the and most fertile deltas of the world is found here, and what that delta is known as Sundarban delta. Okay, why uh, what is the delta then? What do you mean by delta? Delta is the area, okay, the triangle shaped area where the two rivers are getting merged with each other, okay. And why that delta is most fertile always? Because the depository brought by both the rivers is concentrated in that triangle area, okay. So because of that, deltas are mostly fertile, and out of that, here the delta created by the merging of Ganga and Brahmaputra river is most fertile in the world. So students, here it was about the delta. We have studied in detail how it is formed. Now we will study how is the climate and the climatic condition in the Ganga Brahmaputra basin. The Ganga Brahmaputra basin has a monsoon type of climate which is characterized by hot summers, wet monsoons and cold winters. As usually we experience the same monsoon season in our country, okay. So there are the three seasons, that is hot season that we call summer, okay, wet season that we call monsoon or the rainy days, okay, and the cold winters, okay, cold season that is known as winter. So that is the climatic condition in this river basin. The region has a well defined rainy season caused by south monsoon, which occurs from June to September. Maximum rainfall occurs in the delta region and the Brahmaputra valley and decreases westwards up in the Ganga valley. Okay, maximum rainfall occurs where? That occurs in the delta region, okay, where these two rivers that get merged, okay, and the Brahmaputra valleys, okay, the area from Brahmaputra flows in that areas mostly the river the rainfall, maximum rainfall occurs, and it get decreases towards the Ganga rivers. Tropical cyclones are a regular feature in the delta region that causes massive loss of life and property. Okay, tropical, the hot cyclones are most of the time hot cyclones are created in these areas. So therefore, loss of property, massive loss, great loss of property is done here by tropical cyclones. Now, after the climate, the natural vegetation and wildlife in the Ganga Brahmaputra basin. The Ganga Brahmaputra basin comprises of tropical deciduous forest such as teak, sal, maua, the tree and the fruit. Here, the pictures I am displaying you. Bamboo. Okay, so these are the trees, deciduous trees are found in these areas. Thick bamboo groves are common in Brahmaputra plain. Okay, so these are the bamboo groves, okay, that are mostly found in Brahmaputra plains. In the higher altitudes such as in Arunachal Pradesh, Uttarakhand and Sikkim, coniferous varieties are also found. Coniferous varieties we have already studied in the previous chapter, that the types of forest. In that we have studied the deciduous forest, then coniferous forest. In the coniferous forest we can see that the trees, how the trees are there, the leaves of the trees are pointed, okay, so that the ice or the rainwater that is falling on the trees or on the leaves, it can easily slip towards the surface of the area. So this way here the coniferous uh, trees are found. The deltaic regions like the Sundarbans and are covered with mangrove forest, which can survive both in salty and fresh water. Okay, we have studied the same mangrove forest in the previous chapter, that these the trees in these forest, such type of forest are they can survive in both salty as well as the fresh water. Okay, Sundarbans are the largest mangroves forest in the world. See, okay, the largest mangrove forest in the world are Sundarbans. They are also recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Okay, so the mangrove trees in these regions have adapted themselves to survive in these saltwater areas. These trees have adapted themselves to grow in soil that have low oxygen content. Okay, that is one of the characteristic of the mangrove trees, and that trees are found in Sundarban areas, that the trees can survive in the area where the oxygen level in the soil is very low. Okay, in such areas they contain the complex salt filtration system and complex root system. Okay, the complex salt filtration system in their roots. Okay, and complex root system, why it is, it helps them that to reduce the salinity of water when they are absorbing it. Okay, I'm showing here you the in what way the roots of these plants are found here. They contain a complex salt filtration system and a complex root system to cope with salt water immersion. Okay, salt water immersion and wave actions. Okay, that salt water should not enter in the roots. Okay, they have such type of filtration system. Okay, they have adapted to the low oxygen conditions and waterlogged mud. Okay, so in the muddy areas, such trees are grown, and waterlogged areas where the water is always found. Okay, so such type of mangrove trees are mostly found in Sundarban delta. Mangrove forests contribute to the soil formation and help in stabilizing the coastline, reduce erosion caused by the storm, surges, currents, waves, and tides. Okay, so soil erosion is found because of these activities of the oceans. What? Oceanic water. What? Surging, currents, waves, tides. Okay, because of that soil erosion is found. But with the help of the complex root system, these trees, they hold the soil and they let not the soil to flow with the water. The intricate root system makes these forests attractive to fishes and other organisms seeking food and shelter from predators. They also protect human habitation in the storms. The forests are rich in wildlife. Most of the wildlife is concentrated in Sundarbans region and Brahmaputra Valley. Okay, one horned rhinoceros are found here in Brahmaputra Valley. The Sundarbans are home for the Royal Bengal tiger. Besides this, the basin is home for elephants, monkeys, alligators, crocodile, deer, jackals. Okay, these animals are found in Sundarban area, which are that elephants, monkeys, alligators, crocodile, deer, jackal, and the wide variety of freshwater fish like hilsa, then katla, rohu. Such type of varieties of fishes are found in Sundarban areas. In fact, a variety of dolphins locally, which is known as susu. Okay, dolphins in these areas are known as susu. Okay, so these are also found in the fresh waters of Ganga and Brahmaputra river. So here, students, we are at the end point of this lesson, that as well as this information about this river basin, that is the life of the people. How is the life of the people in this area? A considerable percentage of the produce in the Ganga Brahmaputra region lives in rural settlements which have developed along the numerous tributaries of these two rivers. Okay, it means what? Mostly the people in these areas, in which area? The Ganga Brahmaputra region. Okay, in this region the people are mostly living in the rural areas. The rural settlement is found more. It is also home to many tribal groups such as Wills, Ahoms, Santhals. So such type of tribal groups are also found in Ganga Brahmaputra region, who live either in the hilly areas or the forest, which are not easily accessible for the other people. For the protection of themselves, they are living in the hilly areas as well as in the forest areas. The plain is the most suitable area for habitation because the land is flat and the soil is fertile. As a result of this, what? The population density, it means the number of persons that live in 1 square kilometer area is more, okay, of this region is very high. So we can take the example here that the density of population in West Bengal is 1029 square kilometer. Okay, and where we can see the density of population is in Bihar is found 1102 persons per square kilometer. Okay, so density in this area, Ganga Brahmaputra area, is more. Agriculture is the main occupation of the people in this region due to the following reasons. What are the reasons here? You can say that favorable climatic conditions for the growing of crops. Then fertile alluvial soil is deposited here by the Ganga and Brahmaputra river. Then ample water provided by the perennial rivers. The main crop cultivated is paddy. Paddy fields are found in these areas more. Rice, millets, oil seeds, wheat, pulses, maize, sugarcane, and sorghum. These are other crops that are grown in this area. Besides it, banana plantation are also seen in some parts of the plain. Besides the food crops, even the cash crops are also grown here in this area, such as tea is there, that is found in Assam mostly. Jute production is found more in West Bengal. Okay, silk is produced through the cultivation of silkworms in parts of Bihar and Assam. Okay, silkworm are cultivated here because in this area the mulberry trees are planted more and more. So because of that, the silkworm is cultivated more in this area. In the hills and mountains where the slopes are gentle, crops are grown on terraces. Now what is the terrace? So here the farming is explained. See, terraces are cut in steep hilly tracts to create flat areas for farming. This type of farming is known as terrace farming. So here look at the picture very carefully. In this picture I am showing you in what way the terrace farming is done. People also practice animal rearing and fishing, especially in the coastal areas. In higher altitudes, the people practice transhumance. Transhumance, it means the seasonal transfer of people or their cattle with them, okay, from area to area. Okay, suppose the season or the climatic condition is suitable for in a particular area, in that area they will go with their animals, and again after changing the climate they will return back to the good climatic conditions for them. ओके, सो भटकते रहते हैं इस एरिया से उस एरिया, ओके, क्लाइमेटिक चेंजेस के साथ साथ, तो इस प्रोसेस को हम ट्रांसह्यूमेंस बोलते हैं. देन सिंस द yield per acre is high, it has led to the establishment of several agro-based industries in these regions such as sugar, textile, edible oil. These are the industries to which the raw material is provided from the agricultural yield, that is the sugar industry, textile industry and the edible oil industry. Besides these numerous industries such as automobile industry, chemical industry, then fertilizers, electronics, petrochemical, such type of industries are also set up here in this area. And these industries provide even the employment for these people. So the transport and cities in these areas, the flat plains have facilitated the development of good rail, road and air network. The rivers in this region are also navigable. Therefore, there is an extensive network of waterways too. Calcutta is an important port on the river Hooghly. In fact, a developed network of transport and communication has facilitated rapid development of trade, industry, and tourism in the region. The region is dotted with several prosperous historic cities, industrial cities, and port towns such as Agra, Haridwar, Varanasi, Delhi, Kanpur, Patna, Guwahati, Lucknow, and Kolkata. So such type of important cities are also located in this area. So students, here with this we have completed this chapter, that tropical and subtropical regions, in which we have studied in this session about the Ganga Brahmaputra basin in detail. So students, enough for the today's session. Stay at home, stay safe, bye bye.